everyone, and today we have a reading for you about a drama queen that has been causing chaos or being rather difficult. They probably are quite used to controlling how people act or influencing it at the very least, but they seem to be losing their grip, or there are people who are getting fed up with their energy. And there's a reality check or somebody who's about to put this drama queen in their place. So grab your popcorn. Let's call in spirit with a little bit of wind chime time. I hope you're having a good day so far. If you're interested in a personal reading, I would love to do one for you. My email address is wickedwandstarot@gmail.com. You can find that in the description box, along with more information on how to become a member, as well as how to become an owner of one of my homemade soy candles. The Etsy shop is linked below. So let's dive in. I think we will start with the Tarot of Japanese Poetry. Let's see what else we've got. Princess of Summer in the reverse, Seven of Winter, or the Seven of Swords. The Princess of Summer, by the way, that would be associated with fire energy, so wands. And the King of Pentacles in the reverse, or King of Autumn, and the King of Wands, or King of Summer in the reverse. Oh my, okay. This is like a battle royale. So the Page of Wands being in the reverse, this is like we have some gossip, right? But we also had this not facing the truth. And then we have somebody who's lying. So this is specifically about a gossip situation and the drama queen wanting to control the narrative. Go for it. I hope you're having a good one, chosen one. We've got somebody who is very angry because they thought they were going to be able to control the situation. They thought they were going to be able to make somebody else look like the problem. But what they're realizing is that people no longer take their word as truth. It's quite clear they have a reputation for lying or misrepresenting things in order to make themselves look better. Or they just have a reputation for always talking ish, right? Let me get just another candle lit because it's kind of dark in here, you guys. It's gonna be all stormy today. All right. What else? Hello, Ruben. Hello, Steven. How we doing? Five of Spring, or the Five of Cups, and the Four of Spring, or the Four of Cups. Okay. So this drama queen is finding out that they are no longer, like leader of the pack. People don't take them seriously. I can't trust what you say because we've already been able to prove that you lie about things. So basically, we're at a trust but verify, moving towards I'll trust anything you say. And with the Four of Cups, they might even be looking at their social circle, rejecting them, or like kicking them out. Hello, Hayden. How are you doing? Hello, Matt. What's up? What else do we have? Ten of Autumn, which is the Ten of Pentacles. And the Knight of Summer, or the Knight of Wands. So I think we have a scandal or some gossip happening because we have a love triangle. And wherever this drama queen fits into that love triangle, they could be like a homewrecker, or they could be someone who's in a relationship that was also flirtatious, or, getting some physical intimacy from another person. They don't want to be honest about that. They want to make it seem like they have these morals and principles that matter to them, but I think everyone's already figured them out. You do what you want to do, and then you lie about it, or you try to make other people look like the problem, you know, like, look what you made me do kind of thing. People aren't falling for that anymore. This is under the oak. What else do we have? I'm doing well, thank you. How are you? Hello, Dracula. What's up? Queen of Wands in the reverse. Well, there's that drama queen and the Five of Cups. Yeah, so regrettable action, possibly tied to that love triangle, right? But because I don't want people to judge me, or because I don't want to lose face or have people no longer wanting to be my friend or no longer wanting to be my boyfriend or girlfriend, because that Queen of Wands in the reverse, that could be a man just as easily as it could be a woman. Remember, we also have the King of Wands in the reverse, right? This is someone who acknowledges, I like to get into trouble, but I usually have this way about me where I can convince people not to get mad at me. But if you have worn out your welcome, or if you keep using that get out of jail free card, eventually people figure you out. And it does look like one of the individuals in this love triangle is beloved by the other people in this social group. This Queen of Cups is the one who has been wronged, the one who's in a relationship. And it could be a close friend of this Queen of Wands in the reverse, or it could be their partner. What else do we have? Four of Pentacles. I thought I was going to be able to keep this a secret, but instead it looks like that romantic competition, or that, person who is willing to break up a relationship has become the gossip that people are most likely to consume or pass along. And the Queen of Wands in the reverse is struggling to control that narrative. There's too many people here who want to make sure that the Queen of Cups is respected, or who have the Queen of Cups back. So it's like you choose the wrong person to mess with, and then all of a sudden your ability to influence the perspective of those around you, it goes out the window. Hello, Maureen. How are you doing? Hello, Adam. How are you? We have the Nine of Cups and the King of Swords. The truth. Maybe there's someone who has pictures. Maybe there's someone who has seen interactions on social media, or even like a Ring camera. Something here seems to be very much so undermining the story or the claims of the Queen of Wands in the reverse. I know where you were, or what you were doing, or who you were doing. Because, I just realized that on the Knight of Wands, we have, you know what I'm saying, right? You know what I'm saying. And we have the King of Cups. This is clarifying the Queen of Cups. This is why we don't pay too close attention to the gender. The Queen of Cups could just as easily be a man, right? Well, now they're coming through as the King of Cups. This is someone who's emotionally mature, and somehow they've got either caught up in a friendship or in a relationship with this drama queen. Judgment, Eight of Pentacles in reverse, and the Four of Wands. Yeah, a decision has been made. It's not easy to cover up what has happened. I feel like this is a social event where two people snuck off and, made out in the car or something, or worse, right? But there are other people that can attest to what actually happened, or there's actual evidence. Like, here's this video, here's this picture. What do you think about that? Hey, Boquito, guess what? We have asked you multiple times to not call me things like baby and honey, and yet you persist. So, first of all, I'm gonna start calling you Poquito if you ever show up again. Because that's very small energy, you know? When you have respect for others and respect for yourself, you want to be aware of what other people would prefer in terms of what they're called. And it's very small energy to not respect that. So I've put you on a 24-hour timeout. If you come back, feel free to come back around with respect. Otherwise, I'm going to block you permanently, okay? Hello, Magoo. How are you doing? Hello. How's it going, Witch King? I hope you're having a good day. Hello, Jeffrey. See, Boquito? Witch King, he's totally all right with saying hi, Carmen. It's not that difficult. Let's go with the OG, the Rider-Waite, or the Waitesmith. I'm doing well, thank you, Magoo. So we have the Page of Swords and the Knight of Cups in the reverse. Oh no. And the Knight of Pentacles in the reverse. So the truth is being gossiped around. People see what has really happened, and now we have an awkward encounter. It's like it's like you're at the mall and you run into each other, and then you've got like, you know, two sides, and people are throwing down their purses or their shopping, and they're ready to get into like fisticuffs, right? There's gonna be a melee. We have people choosing sides, and most people are choosing the side of this Queen of Cups, King of Cups, and the drama queen is starting to realize, oh, don't I have any friends? I thought I had people that liked me. So, ooh, maybe not. Hello, Junior. How are you doing? Or should I call you JR? I'm sorry. When I see that without the R capitalized, that's what I assume. So we have that King of Cups energy coming through again, as well as the King of Swords. Someone who knows the truth. And it's the person who's being cheated on, or the person, well, no, I suppose either way it would be that. Like, I thought we were friends, and here you are, making a mockery of that, lying to my face. And they know what's going on. And I think the social community has seen enough of the Queen of Wands in the reverse to know that this is someone who is a bit selfish or tends to think about themselves first, right? So we have the Ten of Pentacles and the Two of Wands in the reverse. I made a misstep. I shouldn't have done that. I'm in a relationship, but for whatever reason, I decided to give in to temptation. Page of Pentacles and the Ace of Cups. So the friendship that had at one point been extended to this Queen of Wands in the reverse, I feel like it's being rescinded, and people are saying that they need to be faithful or loyal or have the back of this Queen of Cups, King of Cups person. So we see the writing on the wall, we know what this person's capable of, and in some cases we actually like have a witness to what happened. Hey, Gracie! I actually wrote it down. So I did do your reading, but I know it was buffering. I'm going to go a little bit outside of my normal pattern, you all, because Gracie was supposed to get her reading at the end of the last one, but it started buffering. I'm just going to let you know what happened. I did take a picture of the cards that I pulled out. I'm happy to send that to you if you want to email me. But what I got back is that Jay is not receiving the thought transmission or the information that you're trying to send. It's coming through as if it's in a different language, or he doesn't realize that that's something that could actually be possible. So he could be in denial, or he could, you know, not want to hear it, but it's not getting through to him. So I'm sorry that the buffering happened, but I hope that helps. And what else do we have? I told you there's an argument here. It's like, what is it? West Side Story? Ooh. Okay, sorry guys. I gotta turn the fan on. Give me 1 second. So definitely some arguing and some heated conversation because a lie has been revealed, and it's pretty clear that this Queen of Cups, King of Cups person has been betrayed. Hello, Jorge. I hope you find something better to do with your day, but you gotta live your life. We've got Ace of Pentacles and the Five of Pentacles. So we go from people wanting to connect and be friendly towards this Queen of Wands in the reverse to the cold shoulder. We have the Five of Pentacles, which I think is pretty clear. We don't want to talk to you. You get to sit at your own lunch table, seats taken, that kind of energy. Because we know what you did to our friend. We know that you were not respectful of someone else's relationship. Or perhaps it was the Queen of Wands relationship. But I have a feeling it was the Queen of Cups relationship. So we have Four of Pentacles, Two of Swords, and the Ten of Swords in reverse. I keep saying whatever I think will get you to believe that I didn't actually do that thing, but the reality is some people take too long to realize that their lies are not really being accepted. And I feel like this entire group of friends is just looking at the Queen of Wands like, really? That's all you're gonna say? That's what you got? Come on. We don't believe you. Let's actually get we're gonna go with the Casanova Oracle. Because clearly we got somebody who's a little bit of a Casanova. Hello, Rachel. How are you doing? Hello, Tiana. Oh, I would think definitely not. What else do we have? It's a Monday, you know, people still have a little bit of that weekend energy trailing off. We have dynamism. There's something that's very attractive about the partner of the Queen of Cups, King of Cups, and this, like the drama queen, the Queen of Wands in the reverse, is like, you know what? I think I would like a little bit of that myself. So I'm a little bit confused because I thought this was a dude, but there's some boobs, so I have to hide the boobs. But it's like, I see what you have and I want it for myself, so I'm going to flirt with that person. That's what the drama queen was doing, and people saw it, or someone was able to pull it up on the ring camera, you know? Thank you, Gracie. Let me add that for you on my manifestation. I've added that for you. Thank you. How was the library? That's a good song. Long time ago, though, huh? I was actually supposed to see them in concert. Well, I don't know if I can show you that card. We have vanity and spectacle. Seems about right. That sounds right. So, no nudity in this one, but we do have somebody who's very fond of how they look. I think this is the drama queen. Marsha energy. Okay, I'm trying to figure out how to block the nudity here. Is that, I think I'm sorry, guys. I'm not trying to like hide the whole thing. She's like laying over a lounge. Is that a settee? Settee? How do you say it? I don't know, you guys. It's very I don't need clothes energy. So, I don't know. I feel like we had somebody who was caught mid-session perhaps, and there were some unclothed persons about. And that might make it a little bit tricky to say, oh, we were just having a conversation. It was totally fine. Nothing questionable at all. I think most people get naked at parties, right? Like that's just a thing. Um, maybe at colleges. I don't know. Doesn't seem right to me. So they can't really lie. Maybe they got away with it before, but something is different about this situation, and it's exposing them, I guess, in a couple ways. Exposing them as a liar. Hello, Evil Spirit. What's up? Yes, thank you for liking and subscribing. I'm going to have to come up with something fun to do when I hit 25,000. I think I'm like 400 something away from that. So, I don't know. I'm kind of leaning towards maybe doing a live stream where it's kind of like the Oops All Berries cereal, but it's for tarot readings, where it's oops, all free readings. But the thing about that is y'all actually have to show up for the live stream and have questions for me, because if there's a lull and there's nobody asking me questions, then I'm going to sign off. So I'll make sure that I give you a heads up on when that happens. But if you haven't subscribed and you want to be a part of that getting a free reading thing, then make sure you subscribe. um, I totally believe that, Tiana. Yeah, it's not your job. Oh, I'm glad you know that. So this is the, hold on. I have a blank in my mind right now. The cat tarot of Marseille? Something like that. We got cats and we got a French vibe, okay? We've got the Four of Swords in the reverse and the Empress. Okay. This is when the mask is off, and then this Queen of Cups, King of Cups is like, oh, see, I was nice when I thought you were being nice. But you see, the thing is, when you upset me or when you like purposefully do something to hurt me, then like the gloves are off. And I don't feel bad about turning people against you or, blocking you and kicking you out if you live with me, or telling your boss what happened. Like, I do feel like this King of Cups, Queen of Cups is like friendship revoked, relationship over, whatever the case may be. It's spread to the social community, and people know that this drama queen is a problem. King of Pentacles, Knight of Cups in the reverse, and the Emperor in the reverse. So there's two people considered persona non grata. Two people who are getting ostracized. You cheated on that person, and you also like betrayed your friend. So the two people who participated in this naked time that shouldn't have appear to be kind of kicked out, right? I do remember that, Tiana. It's crazy, isn't it? I don't think you need a degree to understand to be an astrologer. I don't think you need a degree, but I will say this. One of the reasons I don't refer to myself as an astrologer is I do think that it's fairly complicated. You do need to have a good understanding of things that shift and change over time. So it's not even just that you need to understand things before you can speak on them. It's that you also need to keep a pulse on what's going on. So yeah, I mean, I think it's involved, right? So we have the Five of Wands. Again, a reference to an argument. People not liking these two. Like, I can't believe you treated that Queen of Cups that way. You were just thinking about yourself. They're not welcome. We've got, you know, insight now into what you're willing to do, how you act, and as tends to happen, we have somebody that is kind of like shocked that people would take sides. Like, I know I did something I shouldn't have, but can't you just like look the other way? No, and here's why. If I'm friends with you and you were breaking up somebody's relationship, it looks to other people that I support or tolerate that kind of behavior. I've stopped being friends with someone before because they decided to sleep with somebody that was in a relationship. Real talk. Because if you're willing to do that, how could I like trust you, right? I mean, maybe you'll tell my secrets. Maybe if I'm in a relationship, you'll try to go for that person. We already understand where your morals are, or maybe we don't, and that's the problem, you know? Hello to Mike. What's up? So we have Temperance. And the Eight of Cups in the reverse. The Queen of Cups and the King of Cups energy. This person who likely was cheated on, they're finding that life is a little bit easier for them now that their relationship is over. But they also might be a little bit surprised at how willing the social group is like to actually defend them or take their side, to not be supportive of the drama queen any longer. Page of Wands in the reverse, the Hermit, and the Page of Cups. Yeah, so I'm going to move out, or I'm going to, be single. That's fine. I don't want to be questioning whether or not this is somebody that I can trust, or I don't want to be delusional and pretend that nothing happened. The reality is something happened, and it was with a good friend of mine, a supposed good friend of mine. So, like, deuces to both of you. To those of you that have forgiven people who have stepped out in a relationship, that's your own business. My personal feeling is that if someone can do that to you, that trust is broken and extremely difficult to rebuild. Because generally speaking, you're going to have someone who is resentful and another person who is irritated because you're resentful, right? Hello, Grindhard. How are you doing today? Strength in the reverse. Knight of Swords in the reverse. So everybody knows the skeletons in their closet now, or everybody knows this is somebody who is unfaithful or not a good friend. And with that Knight of Swords in the reverse, I feel like there's other stories that are coming out. Like, yeah, you know what? I should have known that this was somebody that we couldn't trust because of how they spoke about that Queen of Cups behind their back. I should have been able to predict that this was someone who isn't a good friend because they seemed jealous. If there is somebody who's willing to gossip with you, they are also willing to gossip about you. Find me somebody who isn't, because I'm pretty sure that's true. If I gossip or talk about you or anybody else behind your back, I'm probably just as quick to do that about someone else. So what makes you think you're special, right? Like, why would you stay friends with somebody who does that when you know that there's already some questionable behavior and maybe you don't really feel like you can trust them? This is the Romantic Lenormand. What else do we have? Woman. That just made me think of a song, and it's only like an echo in my head right now. I just know that he's saying something a little bit strange. I don't know if I'm going to be able to tell you what that song name is or the artist. I'm sorry. I can't remember. But we have someone who thinks very highly of themselves. Like, oh, of course you're attracted to me. Everybody is attracted to me. Would be this Queen of Wands in the reverse type energy. We did have Vanity come out earlier. But we also have this Bear energy, and this is talking about strength. So whoever this Queen of Cups, King of Cups is that has been betrayed, they seem to be bouncing back because they have support from their social community. Hello, Michael. How are you doing? Hello, Art. I don't know what that is. Oh, okay. So they've released Dirty Mountain Dew, which I understand has like cream soda in it. So I'm guessing that's the same thing, but I just call that Cream Doctor. What else do we have? Clover, number 2. I think this is because somebody was in the right place at the right time to discover what was going on. And that's why they were able to confirm that these two people were getting it on or doing something disrespectful, right? This is the Kipper. Hello, is it Shavana? How are you doing? That's funny. What did you think of the coconut Dr. Pepper? I'm like not at all interested in it, but if it's actually good, maybe I will. I don't know. That just seems like too much. So we have the house, number 20. Imprisonment, number 29. Mature man and mean male. So there's basically two people being disowned by this social group. We know what you did. You were in a relationship, but you went out with that person, and then you tried to lie about it, which is like adding insult to injury. So whatever high opinion we might have had of you previously, yeah, no, we scratched that out, and now we look at you like this. Judgment in our eyes. Because you had something great and you ruined it. I think we had a couple that was cohabitating, and now that person who was not faithful is getting kicked out. So life may have been a little bit easier for them financially, but now they're not going to be able to count on that anymore. They might have to be getting a second job, or they might have to move into a place that they feel is beneath them. Yeah. We could have someone who was living a life of luxury because of their relationship, and then they ruined that relationship. Womp, 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 womp. Message of concern and privileged lady. But everyone loves this Queen of Cups, King of Cups. The person who apparently is providing that nicer lifestyle. So, I don't know. I guess there's an opportunity for this Queen of Wands in the reverse to learn a lesson along with the King of Pentacles, the person who is in a relationship. But the social community seems to be of the opinion that, like, you know, you kind of already burned that bridge, and we've chosen a side. We want to be there for the Queen of Cups, King of Cups person. So we have the thinking man and door to romance. Really? Community. Okay, so there's drama, there's heartbreak, there's betrayal. And then the friends that are really there for the King of Cups, Queen of Cups really show up, right? They're like, I got your back. I think there's someone else who's interested in the King of Cups. There's someone else who is saying, I'm sorry that this happened, and, take whatever time that you need to let go of that energy. But if you are at some point in the near future ready to go on a date, I would love to take you out on that date. Like, I'll be your Fabio. I can't help it. I think of Fabio when I see this card. There's someone else who's like, yeah, that's, not great. That person's not very bright for making that decision. But personally, I'm kind of glad that they made that choice, because now you're single and I would treat you much better. Conversely, whoever was in this relationship but stepped out, this Queen of Wands in the reverse seems to be losing interest. That, like, twosome doesn't seem to be destined for a long-term relationship. We have someone who doesn't like their new reality. Life has changed quite a bit for them. And there's this, opportunity to learn from it. Maybe I should have been respectful of that relationship. Maybe I should have been respectful of that friend and chosen to be faithful. So hopefully they each learn a lesson and change their behavior going forward. I'm going to switch gears and go to the personal question for Gracie, and this is the Noisy Tarot. That's okay. We love you for it, Rachel. All right, so for Gracie, what is the energy on the manifestation that Gracie's been working on? Knight of Pentacles, Nine of Swords in the reverse, King of Swords in the reverse, King of Pentacles in the reverse. So Gracie, what I'm seeing is there needs to be some sort of change. You've made progress, but it's not quite at where you want it to be. I feel like the environment is off. Now that could be, instead of LED lights, light a candle. That could be there's a TV on and that's distracting. Or maybe you're playing music. Something needs to change in the environment. And with the King of Swords in the reverse, also the words that you're using. So it's like you've got the energy mostly right, but a little bit of adjustment would help you to be more effective with your manifestation. So don't give up, but there is just a little bit of magic missing from this moment. And with a little bit of effort, you can improve upon those things and get a better result. Page of Cups, Ace of Wands. So different words, and maybe, I don't know why I see it as light a candle. I'm a big believer in reading with a candle lit. So it could be lighting or some noise pollution that is making it difficult. All right. Rachel Francis, have you subscribed and liked the video? Ooh, that would be nice, Rachel, but also maybe a little bit challenging. I respect that. I just like candlelight. Plus, if it's, a candle that actually smells good. What is going on for Rachel and Dan? The Empress. Seven of Pentacles, Page of Wands, Seven of Cups in the reverse, Knight of Swords, Queen of Cups in the reverse. So there's someone who has something to say. I do feel like there's been some effort made with regards to understanding, what's going on from an emotional standpoint. But there's like a question mark here. Like, why is there not more investment in this situation? There seems to be a little bit of instability or, confusion. Trying to figure you out. This is someone who it's clear to them what they're feeling, but actually communicating it is difficult. Like, if you've ever had issues saying you love somebody the first time where you're like, "Ah, but I'm just, like, a little bit nervous." So, with the 6 of Pentacles and the High Priestess, it seems to me like you know that there is this conversation that needs to happen, but Dan's not doing it. I do feel like it's going to happen, but patience is required. Is there anything that Rachel needs to do? No, just being patient. So I do feel like it's going to happen, but finding the right words and maybe a little bit of confidence is a struggle. A little cheat code that might help if this is somebody who feels really confident about like their golf game, or maybe they're really good at artwork. I don't know. After that kind of activity, that confidence spikes for Dan, and then it's like I'm more likely to be able to find those words. So maybe leaning towards activities that Dan is confident in will help that confidence with regards to communication. Hello, Robert. How are you? All right, I'm going to leave it there. Good luck with that, Rachel. Thank you for the likes and the subscribes. And thank you for hyping the video if you're able to. I will see you on the next reading. Toodles.